Okay. Can everybody see that okay? Let me just make sure before I jump in. Okay, great. Okay, so our agenda for today, we're going to cover 6 different topics. First, what is land? Second, what problem do we solve with the service that we're offering at land.nyc? What's our focus area, kind of geographically, what are we focusing on? How do we select our listings? There's thousands and thousands of listings in the areas that we like to focus on, but how do we select the ones that we curate for our site? We also talk about what are the land prep costs? What is the cost to get the land build ready on top of what you may already have paid for the land, but what's it take to get the site ready for the start of construction? And then lastly, we're going to talk about what do you get as a subscriber to land.nyc. So what's land? Land.nyc is a HUTS service that curates the best residential land listings within 3.5 hours of New York City. What is HUTS? HUTS brings together 4 offerings that are purpose-built to design and deliver remarkable housing solutions and memorable destinations. So the 4 areas that HUTS focus on is housing design, entitlement and delivery, placemaking, land use, and preparation. And today we're going to focus on the land use and preparation. So the land use and preparation really covers land sourcing, right? So it's finding that perfect property for you. We also will do a codes review, so we really have a good understanding of what you're permitted to do on the property as it is, or if there's any special uses or variances that we need to do. We're going to determine what's the best use of the property, right? Because many different properties are designated for different uses, so we kind of determine what's the best use. We also cover what's the groundwork coordination and assembling the groundwork teams. So this could be your surveyors, your septic designs, your excavators to put in your driveways, a well driller, and so on. We also manage the site preparation, so we will help coordinate all the work that's going to be done on your site, and as well as the master planning. So what problem do we solve? Simply put, finding the right parcel is a nightmare. As we all know, you can't build a home without land, right? So land is a must. We have determined this with HUTS, that in working with our clients, a lot of our clients were coming forward and they just didn't have land. So for us, it kind of made sense to start this service of land.nyc to put together the service to help clients find the piece of property that they're looking for. And choosing the right parcel is arguably one of the most important decisions you'll make, right? I mean, this is a classic. Some people will buy land, not really know what they're getting, maybe not do the due diligence, and really not sure what they're getting involved in. So we're helping to solve that problem. There's a lot of online resources out there, Trulia, Zillow, maybe a regional broker's office. Good tools if you're looking for a single family home, but not great tools if you're looking for land, because most of these online services aren't designed to make the sense of land. In addition, realtors may not understand the land parcels that they list for sale. As we all know, realtors are paid on commission, right? So the larger the price tag on a property, the higher the commission. Typically, land is less expensive than an existing residential house. So we're finding a lot of the realtors aren't putting forth the additional effort to really get out and see what's on the land. We see a lot of listings where it's just maybe a photo taken from a car on the side of the road. Maybe there's some stock imagery, and the realtor, in our opinion, isn't really understanding everything that land parcel has to offer. It also could be expensive and time consuming to tour lots from out of town. let's just say you're based in the New York City, Brooklyn area, you happen to be in Williamsburg, and you're looking for a parcel in Livingston Manor. Gas and tolls could cost you on average $125. A two-night hotel for an Airbnb, maybe $600. Food, $150 for the weekend. So your weekend trip to go look at a piece of property could be around $875. You figure maybe 4 trips on average to really kind of look at land up there could run you about $3,500 just to even get out and look at that property. So we're trying to alleviate some of what you might experience and get as much done conveniently from the comfort of your own home. And the possible uses of buildability of the lots you do see are a mystery, right? Let's just say you do make that trip up there, you do look at the land, you're really not sure what and beautiful features. Our listings are in rural areas near charming towns within 3.5 hours from New York City. So this could cover the Poconos in Pennsylvania, the Catskills of New York, the Berkshires of Massachusetts, some parts of Connecticut, and as well as some parts of Vermont and New Jersey. All of our listings going forward are $150,000 or below. We feel that's a good number to stay below based on what we're seeing for the average cost and budget. Most of our clients are looking to spend on the total project costs. You wouldn't want to buy $1 million piece of property and then put a $200,000 home on it. So trying to keep that balanced, we keep the price of our land that we're featuring on our website at $150,000 or below. Our listings are all buildable parcels, right? So you can look at parcels online and see a whole bunch of stuff, and maybe you're seeing a parcel that's a lot of acreage at a very decent price. Chances are it may not be a buildable parcel, which is fine, but maybe that doesn't work for you. So all of our listings that we're curating on our website are buildable parcels. So again, looking at that sweet spot of affordable, buildable, beautiful, accessible, that's what we're curating for you. How do we select our listings? So there's some additional refinement criteria that we use when we're looking at our properties. One, as we're combing through these listings, we're looking at the proximity. So we're trying to stay in that 3.5 hours of the New York City area. We're looking at the land features. What's on the property? Is it wooded? Is it all field? Are there some water features on there? We also look at what is the price to develop it. Is it near utilities? Does it already have road access? Is it on a seasonal road? All things we take into consideration. And what is the privacy? Most of our clients are looking to get out of the city and have a little bit more space, maybe get a little bit closer connected to nature. So privacy is kind of important, and we use that as far as doing our criteria. Some additional things that we look at when we're doing our scoring and further refinement is really scoring each of these areas for the parcel to determine if it's something that we feel kind of fits in that sweet spot. We also use licensed data to evaluate the lot. So we don't have the ability right now to go out and look at every parcel, but we do have the ability to see every parcel with some of the data that we have licensed to, and it is including aerial imagery, some of the survey boundaries, topography information. We'll look at if there's wetlands in the area. We'll be able to see what's happening on the neighboring properties. And again, we can do all this analyzing and data research right from the computer before even going out to the property. We also review the available zoning and code information, right? So you want to be able to understand what you can and can't do on the property. So that's what part of our curating process is, looking at what the local zoning is, what's the code information, making sure that at a minimum we can get a single family residential home, but also what kind of restrictions we may have or not on the property. We'll look at tax information and as well as other public information that everybody has access to, but we also still consider that as we're looking at and curating these properties. In addition, right, you're looking at a piece of property and maybe you're not familiar with the area. So with land.nyc, we also tell you a little bit about what's nearby, right? Because this is kind of going to be the community that not only you're looking to build in, but you're going to be spending time in and maybe even living there full time at one point. So it's kind of important to know what services are available, what kind of outdoor activities there are, what kind of places to eat. So knowing those nearby town and amenities is kind of important when you're looking to evaluate your property. We also categorize the lots by land specific search criteria, right? So we're going to look at different regions, different price, acreage, what's available for utilities, what's the project level, maybe it's easy, medium, or hard. What kind of environment is it in? Is it close to town, out in the boondocks, whatever your personal preference might be. And how do we select our listings? So we're taking into consideration all these different areas and using that when we're putting together our list. We also sketch out and diagram how we would recommend utilizing the parcel if you choose to buy it and build on it, right? So taking into all those considerations, what do we feel is kind of the best use for the property? What's the road frontage? What's the accessibility? Can you get additional dwellings on there? What's the lake frontage like? Can you build near the lakefront, on the lakefront, or are you going to be set back for a while? All things to take into consideration. So let's do a sample search on land.nyc. Let me just change here for a little bit. Seems like there's a problem with the audio. Is everybody getting it okay? Okay. So over on land.nyc, we're going to click on land. Get that there for us. Look at all of our listings, and we'll do a simple land search to see what we can come up with. So up here in the search bar, we're going to choose a state. We'll choose New York. For acreage, let's just say we're looking for a parcel that's 3 to 5 acres. And let's just say we're looking for something that is hop, skip, and a jump civilization, and maybe it's kind of forested. Oops, made a little error there. There we go. So you can see it's populating some results for us. It's kind of giving you a quick price, tells you a little bit about it. There's a forest, what the acreage is, if it's easy, medium, or hard. So we'll click this, let's pick, yeah, we'll pick this one here. So there's the sale price, $150,000. We're estimating that the land prep to get that up and ready for building is $15,000. It's located in the town of Glen Spey, New York. There's some aerial images that you can see on the property, kind of gives you a breakdown of the price, what's the environment, it's close to town, what available utilities there are, electric, cable, internet, and this property actually already has septic and well. We give a little description on why we think this lot is awesome, because we only want to kind of include awesome lots on our service. And this is a brief description and the diagram of how we would build on this lot, right? So we would talk about, you can see here, getting the driveway in, maybe with some clearing, whether we feel it's set up primarily for a single family home, or maybe there's some ADU opportunities or a yoga studio or a sauna. Here we talk about the nearby, tells you a little bit about the town, places to shop, outdoor activities. This covers our land prep estimate. We're estimating between 15 to 25,000 for that parcel. And then some more details about the property, right? So is it difficult? What the settings like, the environment, the land prep, and the land use. And lastly, there's the contact information for the broker, should you want to call and get some more information about that property and or ultimately purchase it. So pretty straightforward, easy to use. And then the bottom there, it's going to include some similar listings. If you like that one and you want to see comparables, you can just go ahead and click on those and those would take you over. Okay. So that's a quick overview of how to do a simple land search. What are the land prep costs? What will it take to turn a raw parcel into a build ready parcel, right? So maybe it's a piece of totally vacant land, it's all wooded. What's it going to take to kind of get it build ready? And the purchase price doesn't tell the whole story, right? So your purchase cost for this property here, for an example, is $129,000, but you're looking at site clearing and driveway for $15,000, your septic for $8,000, your well and water infrastructure for $10,000, and your electric cost is $17,000. So your total site expenses could be $80,000 for a purchase property of $40,000, which comparable, that's a pretty good place to land. And what do you get as a subscriber? Some pretty great stuff is what we like to say. So you get unlimited access to our platform, right? You can only see our curated listings if you're a member and a subscriber of land.nyc. You get $500 off any ADU plan purchased from HUTS. You get a $1,000 design services credit for all your full home HUTS projects. You get access to our parcel evaluation service. And this is something we only offer to our land subscribers. And that's basically the opportunity for you to sign up for this service. Let's say you have 2 or 3 parcels that you're considering. You can work with us and we'll further evaluate those parcels, do some due diligence and give you our best opinion on each of those parcels and which one we think might be best suited for the project that you're doing. There's ongoing updates on events and exclusive vendor partnerships, and it's just a better land search process. So I'll open it up for some Q&A at the moment, and we will go from there. So hold on one second. Let me just pop back over. Okay, open up the Q&A. All right, so feel free to add in your questions here. First question, can we send you parcels for review or must we use the parcels you have vetted? Good question. So that talks a little bit about the land evaluation service that we have. And what you could do is it's only available to land.nyc members. So you have to be a subscriber to be able to utilize this service. It is an additional charge. It's roughly $1,000 and we will evaluate 3 parcels for you. And as part of that service, we'll ultimately determine which we feel is best for the project that you're looking to do. How many lots are on your site in Vermont and Massachusetts? Off the top of my head, I don't know, but I'm going to say you're looking at least half dozen to a dozen for those two states specifically. I will add that in $150,000, but it's just too much for what we're looking to do. And with Vermont, Vermont, as you know, is a pretty rural area. We do have some parcels listed for sale there. We will find more parcels in that price range that we're looking for, the 150,000 and below. It's just not a lot of inventory, and there's some pretty rugged terrain and parcels in that area. Let's see, another question. Let's see. Someone's asking about the price range for a HUTS homesteader homes, trying to get a sense of all the expenses if we went with HUTS plus the land solution. I'm going to say most of our clients are developing projects in the 400 to $1 million plus range, pretty wide range. I'm going to say on average, if you were to kind of boil that down, maybe you're in the $500,000 to $800,000 range for a well-appointed single-family home or full project that we would be doing. But we also have clients that are just doing ADUs, which is significantly smaller budget range. So it really kind of depends on what you're doing. And if you were to sign on with HUTS, we would work with you to kind of really define what that overall budget is for your project, what works for you, what's realistic, the area that you're looking, and the land. Question from Teresa: is it typically cheaper to buy land than build a house from the ground up rather than buy a house? It depends. Buying land and building a home, you certainly have more control, right? So you kind of know the land that you're buying, what you can do with it and what you can't. And as you're going through the design process, you at that point have total control of what you're spending for the house. Buy an existing home if it's something brand new, ready to go, that's one. If you're getting into renovations, that could be something that could be a little bit more challenging and really not know what you're getting into until you start doing the renovations. See if we have any other questions here. We got a few more minutes. Let's see. Are HUTS homes designed suitable for full-time residents? Yes, absolutely, 100%. And they could also be designed for less than 4 seasons. So maybe you're looking to do a 3-season ADU or 3-season smaller home. That can be designed as well. Any type of assurances that things stated on your listing, such as available utilities, are correct? Yes, as far as us doing our due diligence and how we're evaluating these properties, that's what we take into consideration. We also suggest that you do your due diligence as part of the purchasing of the property. So once an offer is accepted, you can then do your perk test, see if there's any deed restrictions or covenants, make sure you have a clean title. And that's really during that due diligence period, during the purchasing process, where you can evaluate the land, make sure it's 100% accurate as far as what you're getting, and making sure it can do exactly what you need it to do. Let's see. You assist in building smaller homes? Yes, we do ADUs as well. Let's see, another question from Lisa. Do you also look into flood risk when evaluating your parcels? Yes. Not only the water on the property, we can kind of tell if there's wetlands on there, but we can also tell from neighboring properties as well what the conditions are for those. We have access to public records, which would talk more about floodplains, and if there's any state designated wetland areas, we can access that information as well. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If not, let me just, oops, I think maybe we just had one more. No, okay. Let me just pull this up for us here. Okay, so next steps. We suggest you sign up for land.nyc. Take advantage of our service offering. If you're serious about buying lands, we feel strongly that our service can help you tremendously. And we will help you find that perfect place. It can be challenging, it can be exhausting, but it could also be fun. And having the right resources and tools available can make that process really fun and kind of really help along the way. So we highly recommend check us out, consider signing up with us, utilize our service, and happy land hunting. So thank you very much for your time today. We will follow up with an email. If you have any additional questions, feel free to send those out. And thank you for your time and take care.